All right, 49ers fans, where we are here, let's do it. Let's get real because the Los Angeles Rams just did it again. This is what they do. It's their philosophy. Giant splash hires in free agency, whether it's giant trades, whether it's, bringing in free agents, top dollar free agents. They did it again. They go out and they sign Bobby Wagner, future Hall of Famer, to a 5-year, $50 million deal in Los Angeles Rams Hollywood fashion. That's what it is. And how do we handle this? One, every single team, and I've been on record saying this, every single team in the NFL is better with Bobby Wagner on there. There's not one team out of all 32 teams that wouldn't improve. The 49ers would have improved as well. However, the 49ers still have the best linebacking core in the NFL. Now, if you want to argue best 1-2 punch, maybe not them. But you talk best 3, there's nobody in competition. Nobody. Now, is Bobby Wagner great? Yes, he is. Even at his age, he's still great. It's crazy that they do this. But here's the question I get the most. And here's what I want us to walk away with when we're done with this video. What are the two conflicting ideologies on team building concepts between the Rams and the 49ers? Which one's better? And should the 49ers jump ship and join the Rams on their spending spree? Okay, so before we're able to answer that question, let's back up. Let's look at the forest for the trees. Let's pay attention to the big picture. That is the Rams offseason. They're Super Bowl winners. They won the NFC West. They beat us in the NFC Championship game. But we are 6-1 against them in the last 7 games. Now, whenever you look at what they've did, again, you can focus on Bobby Wagner. That's fine. You can focus on Allen Robinson. That's fine as well. And yeah, those are big splash hires. They're huge. But pump the brakes just a little bit. Look at what they lost. It's so simple to forget everything that they lost. So these are their losses. Von Miller. All right. Robert Woods, now that was in a trade. Darius Williams, their starting corner opposite Jalen Ramsey. Andrew Whitworth retired, their starting left tackle. Their punter, Johnny Hecker, which, whatever, it's special teams, but he's one of the highest paid. Their starting guard, Austin Corbett. Their starting defensive tackle opposite of Aaron Donald, Sebastian Joseph Day, who was their kind of Super Bowl kind of hero on defense. And their starting defensive end, Okoronkwo. So they've lost a lot of starters. There's no doubt about it. So they lost 8 starters. They've brought in 2. They've lost 6 starters. Like, that's what you should walk away from. 6 starters out of 22. They have lost 6. That's a net loss of 6. They lost 8, but 6 are gone. So yeah, everybody could be like, gosh, how could they keep doing this? Well, it's pretty damn easy. It's all about the salary cap. And the salary cap is not fake. You can manipulate it, but eventually you're going to get caught. Okay. And so we see teams with that, losing all these, stud starters. And the Rams are one of those. But their philosophy has dictated that our elite talent will supersede the average guys, the Jags, just a guy, JAG, that we bring in to fill in these roles. So if we're just looking at key starters, they lost 8 starters. They brought in 2. That's a -6 net loss, right? Okay, now let's look at the money that they lost just on the salary cap this year. And this will probably answer your question more than most. Von Miller, $20 million per year average. Darius Williams, $10 million. Austin Corbett, 8.7. Sebastian Day, 8. Johnny Hecker, 2.5. Okoronkwo, 3.5. Traded away Robert Woods. He was $16.2 million. Andrew Whitworth retiring. He still counts against their cap. He's $10 million per year average. So if you're just looking at APY, they lost $78.9 million a year on average contact. So if that's the way you want to measure value, not starters, but how much money they make per year in the NFL, they lost $78.9 million in starters. Okay, what did they gain? Allen Robinson, 15.5. Bobby Wagner, 10. They gained 25. 25, take that off of the 78.9. They're $53.9 million worse this year after free agency. Everybody can sit there and be like, oh, yeah, they won the all-name team. Awesome. Good deal. Good deal. They lost way more. Now, if you look at the entire length of the contract signed by all these players lost and brought in, it gets even more exasperated. It's crazy, okay? Listen to this. Von Miller's deal, $120 million. Darius Williams, $30 million. This is the life of their deals. Austin Corbett, 26. Sebastian Day, 24. Hecker, 7. Okoronkwo, 1-year deal, 3.5. Robert Woods, 65. Andrew Whitworth was on a $30 million deal. He retired. Okay, what did they bring in? They brought in Allen Robinson, 46. Bobby Wagner, 50. Add those up. They gained $96 million. They lost $305.5 million in total course of the contract situation. So what does this mean? Did they get better? No, they didn't. They have no picks. They have a lot of comp picks, which they've been hitting on. Let's be really, really honest. They've been hitting on. But you cannot look at this and say, is it sustainable? I think it is sustainable because they just keep losing starters every year, but they're making it work. We'll have to see what happens. Now let's look at the other side. And I want to say thank you to everybody. #CC group. I'm going live again here in about an hour. Where I've got a whole thing planned, top 5 things to be excited for the 49ers. So that's going to be the next. And also I loaded some Trey Lance highlight breakdowns as well. You can see the description of this video. You can check that out as well. But we're going to be doing our #CC giveaway on our next live post that's going to happen just a little bit later after this, about an hour or so. So yes, your CCs do get out here. That's for sure. Now here's the question. Let's look at the 49ers. 49ers don't do this. We don't. We draft and develop. The top paid players on the 49ers, guess what? Drafted by the 49ers. Now, once Jimmy Garoppolo's gone, right? You're looking at Eric Armstead. You're looking at Fred Warner. You're looking at Kyle Juszczyk, who they just extended, picked up his option through 2 years today as well through 2025. So we got him for a minute, which is great. You're looking at Trent Williams. We didn't draft him. We traded for him. And that's a big contract. We don't get credit for that, unfortunately, because, again, you're not constantly in the news of acquiring or losing guys. We have so many guys. We're about to pay Debo, Fred Warner, George Kittle, all these guys. We are paying our own guys. Jimmy Ward. We draft, we develop, we sign. That's what we are. We're not Hollywood. We build. We have a different type of locker room. It's not to say theirs is worse or better. They won a Super Bowl. So currently, yeah, it is better. But we have a 21-year-old youngest quarterback in the NFL that we are betting on. If that hits, guess what? Hard for a 21-year-old guy to compete with Matthew Stafford, who I think is 35. You've got some time. And so John Lynch was asked after the draft 2 years ago, or right before the draft, right before the 2020 season. Is it win now at all costs, or is it build for the future for sustained success? And he says, I don't think they conflict with each other. We're going to do both. And John Lynch doesn't lie. He doesn't lie to the media. He's too honest. And that is exactly what they are trying to do this year. That's exactly what they did last year. That's why you trade all those first-round picks for Trey Lance and then sit them. That's why you draft, whether it's Trey Sermon or Aaron Banks, you sit them. And now you let Laken walk, right? You let him go. Why? Because this coaching staff, whether right or wrong, this isn't they're right or they're wrong. That's not what this is. This is what they are doing. Look at what they have shown. They believe that Aaron Banks, they believe that Trey Lance, they believe these guys can step in. So should they do what the Rams are doing? I don't think so. You play your game, you be who you are. Sean McVay is not long for this world. The NFL world. I hope he lives a very long life. It has happy. I have no ill will towards. He almost retired. He was contemplating retiring and going to the booth after this. This is, let's burn the candle at both ends and let's just see what happens. And it's going to crash eventually. There's no doubt about it. There is no doubt about it. But for right now, hey man, have fun. Have fun. If you've ever watched The Wolf of Wall Street, they're in the first half of the movie. Eventually, it's going to be the second half. It's going to catch up eventually, and especially with all these void years they're adding on to the contracts. We'll have to see what the eventual, Bobby Wagner contract's going to be, but 5-year, $50 million initially. My guess is it's probably going to be a 3 or 4 year deal with a void year afterwards, all those things. But it's not sustainable. The 49ers need to stay with their plan. Don't jump ship. Don't do that. It's working. It's sustainable. You lost by 3 to this team, I believe. I think that's what it was in the NFC Championship game. You're all right. You're all right. Ball bounces your way. Get that interception that bounce off your chest. Those little bitty things. Who knows what happens? You are where you want to be. And you continue that path. You don't jump ship because the headlines might not be in your favor. That's not who we are. We don't win headlines in free agency. It's not who we have been. It's not who we have been. Now, where do you win? Where do you win? That's the draft. That's where the 49ers are better than other teams. Maybe not early on, but hey, we don't have a first round pick this year. But you look at what we've done in the later rounds and day 2. Oh my gosh, Debo, Kittle, Warner, all those things. And guess what? If you want to be there this year, and if you want to actually party with 49ers, here you go. You want to take part in the greatest 49ers draft party that's ever been assembled? Well, head to 49ersrushroadtrip.com and listen to the words of the All-Pro LB1, Fred Warner, who says he's going to be hanging out with us at the Mandalay Bay at the S-Bar for days 1 of the NFL draft. Now, we have tickets available for day 1 and day 2, and we're almost sold out. So, we've got a lot of tickets available still. The meet and greet tickets, they sold out. I told you guys to get them. Hopefully, you got them. If not, we still have some general admission tickets where you might have the possibility to meet them if we have some extra time. But that is available. Head to 49ersrushroadtrip.com and go get your tickets. It's going to be incredible. Day 1, drinks, food, everything included with Elijah Mitchell and Fred Warner. And we also have day 2 where we rented out a local brewery. We're going to be hanging out there, having some drinks, talking through all the 49ers picks with a lot of content creators that are going to be there. So, quit wasting time. Don't let this sell out and you be left out. 49ersrushroadtrip.com. Go get your tickets now. All right. I love this from Martin. Thank you for the gift on Super Chat. Our team building model is similar to New England's. You're exactly correct. They had 7 Super Bowl appearances, better than the one free agent loaded Super Bowl win. Yeah, if you could get that. You know, we've had 1 Super Bowl appearance. The Rams have had 2 under McVay and got 1 win. And we were close, right, last year. But I think, again, our team this year is going to be better than our team last year. And that's what my next video is going to be about. Top 5 things to be excited about with the 49ers future. And we're going to jump into that. So, yeah, if we get there, right, if we don't get the Super Bowl win, then, yeah, it's decided. Rams did it right. We did it. But we never had the same roster as they did. It was different from the start. Now, if we could get that sustained success, then 1,000%, and that's what John Lynch and this front office are building for. I think that's what's so important. Vince, he says, John, if Charvarius Ward was with us last season, do we go to the Super Bowl? I don't think that we lost the NFC Championship game to the Rams because of our outside corners. It was a bad game for them. I think we lost it on offense. I don't think it was defense. Our defense did relatively well. We missed the interception. Odell Beckham Jr. had a pretty good game against us, and they were able to run against our backup defensive group. That was an issue up front. So with Charvarius Ward, I think the impact Charvarius Ward would have had last year, we wouldn't have needed that game week 18 to go the way it did to get in. We would have it probably would have equated it another game or 2 wins throughout the year. So would it have won the Super Bowl? Maybe. I think it would have given us a better chance to be a lock for the playoffs instead of coming down to the wire. But make no mistake. Now, if you could do that with Charvarius Ward and put somebody in the slot, that's what lost us. That's the killer. So if you're going to put Mosley in the slot, then sure, I'll tell you right now, we would have won that game. But we're going to have to see how they handle it, whether it's Mador, whether they move Mosley inside, whether it's Tarquez Denard, who they like a lot and signed. That's a possibility as well. So, you know, that's one of those things I want to see. What's up, Smoking Niner guy? He says, "What? John Chapman checking in from Okinawa. It's been a while since I caught a live show. Keep up the great work." Heck yeah, man. Thank you for your service, man. That is incredible. So that's what we got. And again, Thad, he says, can you please explain how they're able to get away with these many superstars under contract? Again, they lose starters. They've lost 8 starters. They signed 2. The biggest guy, and again, everybody wants to talk about these superstars. They lost the biggest superstar. The biggest superstar of this whole thing was Von Miller. Way bigger than, what they're getting. Allen Robinson, way bigger. Bobby Wagner, way bigger. Von Miller was the superstar. They traded a 2nd and 3rd for him. They had him for 1 year, and now he's gone. They had him for like 8 games, but it got him the ring. They pushed it in. They caught it. And so, yeah, they're not getting away with it. They're adding. They are down more superstars than they have gained. Because again, if you're just looking at superstars, which let's just say $10 million or more per year, they lost Von Miller. That was $20 million. They lost Darius Williams, their starting corner, $10 million. They retired Andrew Whitworth, starting left tackle. He was a superstar, gone. Traded away Robert Woods at $16.2 million. So that's 4 superstars gone, and they brought in 2. Allen Robinson, 15. Bobby Wagner, 10. So even if you're just looking at stars, they're down 2 stars. So understand we are different, the 49ers. And I say we because I put so much time into this, and it's okay for you to say we too. And if you're one of those people that say like, oh, you can't say we because you don't play for the team, be better. Don't gatekeep. Don't gatekeep. Anyway, we're going to be live here very, very shortly. Preparing that episode now, but I wanted to jump on when I saw this news because my inbox blew up. Why did they do this? How did they get away with it? How did they get away with it? So hopefully you enjoyed this and just understand we're different, and that's okay. Sustained success. The Rams, short-lived. It's going to be short-lived. They're going to blow it up with the GM, the coach, the salary cap, all those things. The quarterback, everything about them says they got a 2 to 3 year window, and then that's it. And so we'll have to see what happens. We'll have to see. But stay strong with who your identity is. The 49ers identity is great right now, especially with the 21-year-old quarterback, baby. If he hits, all this will be forgotten. So until next time, we'll be live soon. Stay strong, faithful.